G'day, I'm Rob Pinckney from New Zealand, and today we're going to discuss some basic principles of horseshoeing. The four main basics: proportion, shape, placement, and medial-lateral balance. I've got some tools with me today which have helped me stay to these principles, and also it's very good to explain to your customers. Firstly, I'm going to use these proportion dividers. These are the proportions of nature. Now, if I took one joint of my finger here, they would match the other joints of my fingers and turn the dividers over. And I could carry on over my whole body with these proportions. I will use these on the horse. So firstly, I can take the length of the frog. If I drop the line to the top of the coronet, the depth of the foot. It also will equal above the coronet, just below the fetlock, and then it'll be 2 to the knee, and so on over the horse. The next basic is shape. It's very important to get the toe shape right because it has a direct influence to the rest of the foot. So we're going to use this contour gauge here. If I place this on the front of the foot just below the coronet, it will give me the true shape of the horse's foot. I have to do the same to the toe shape on the bottom of the foot. The third basic is placement. It's very important to get your quarter placement at the widest part of the foot, halfway between the toe and the heel. Line to the top of the coronet, this was where my widest part of my foot should be. If I pick the foot up, then our placement of our shoe and our trim will be halfway between the widest part will be halfway between the heel and the toe. If we draw a line across the toe off the inside of the white line, this length and this length should be the same. If we place a pedal bone in there, the point of articulation will be halfway in the foot. We must center our shoe around the pedal bone. It's important that the toe shape that we've just taken will mimic the shape of the pedal bone. The fourth basic is trimming to the long axis of the limb. It's important to train your eye as a guide that your trim is 90 degrees to the long axis of the cannon bone. If we look down this tool, we can clearly see where our foot needs to be trimmed. I'm going to be lowering that outside. Again, I don't have to take a lot of foot off this horse. I'm going to lower my heels back. Again, here's my halfway of my foot. I'm going to be shoeing halfway. Then I will start looking at my shape. Here's my shape here, so I have to tuck these toe quarters in. So again, I've taken the corners off there and the toe quarters. There's my halfway mark. My grasp will change into the heel quarter. Doing it from the other side, heel quarter, halfway in my foot, then I'll shape into my toe quarter, tightening up that toe quarter there. Again, you just keep working on that shape and that placement of those quarters. Now if I draw a line through there, this distance and this distance are the same. This distance and this distance are the same. The halfway mark is directly across from each other. I can get my gauge and I can check again that my toe shape is coming up. Now it's very important that when I fit my shoe, I will be looking at toe shape and quarter placement. Now with shaping my shoe, so I lay my clip up and then toe shape. Thinking about the shape of my toe, my quarter placement. Same on the other side, inside, thinking again on the shape of my toe. setting my quarters halfway in the foot, bring my heels back on. All that's required. So now with shaping my shoe, I've been sure that I get my toe shape the same as what I had on the foot. If I draw a line across the toe, then to my widest part in my heels will be exactly half and half. So I've set my quarters. If I've set my toe shape and my quarter placement right, then fitting up becomes very easy. Notice how I'm standing away from the horse and I'm looking down the heels, and I'll just pull my shoe straight on and it will almost fit first time. I can check whether my fit is right by placing my shoe on top of the coronet band and making sure there's no gaps and no daylight through it, and the quarters all the way around. If I place it on there without seeing daylight, I know that my fit is correct. Again, my widest part of my foot is halfway in my shoe. Going from my heel to my widest part, it transides into the toe quarter, into my toe. These distances are the same, and on both sides of the foot. My toe shape and my quarter placement is my halfway and halfway. My heel bone will sit in the foot. These distances are the same. My toe shape is the same as the coronet. Shoeing the hind foot, the first three basics are the same: proportion, shape and placement. The last principle of trimming to the long axis is different in the hind foot. We have to assess the foot why it's standing on the ground. So a good way of doing this is when this front foot is up, taking a look through the quarters, the toe quarters, and seeing if they're the right distance or the right height, the same height. In this case, he's high outside. The hind foot trim, it's important to get my toe shape, my quarters halfway, the foot, and opposite each other. You can see with the separation here that the toe needs to be tightened up again. But I'm going to have to. G'day, I'm Rob Pinckney and I'm here to make a small video. I should be able to drop it onto the coronet like this, and there'll be no gaps in the toe and the quarters. Concepts of horseshoeing that will be discussed in this video will be gumbooty sort of this sort of stuff's not. Oh, it's a lifter. You're right. And the other one is just on the inside of the thing. Hoof capsule in it's cut.